Derek, what does it do bringing in a new player potentially at this point in the season?
Yeah, I think potentially is the word there. I think there's still a little bit we have to do to get through, get it to fruition here. So, probably we'll talk more on that if it does become official here, kind of maybe leave that to Steve and his management group.
Is it a vote of confidence, though, that somebody, he believes in you and you guys? And
Yeah, again, probably once it gets to fruition here, because there is some hurdles there, obviously everything that's gone on, so.
Is Dylan out tomorrow? Or?
Dylan is out tomorrow. Obviously, he's probably in that day-to-day scenario, and with him not traveling with us, probably put him unlikely for Thursday too, and I think we'd hope and expect him back for Montreal Saturday.
So he's no IR?
No IR again, but you see him, he's missed some practices. He's in that day-to-day range. Got some stuff going on.
has he been dealing with stuff here for a while?
Yes, yes he has, yes.
Wallman, good to go now?
Wallman's good to go, but Justin Hall was unable to practice today. So I don't know if Justin will be available for us tomorrow. So if he's not, we'll probably call a D-man up for a little insurance there as a seventh guy, because we'll be traveling with just the 12 forwards with Bergren coming up.
When you say hurdles, are you talking about physical, contract, both?
Probably more the physical part of it. And again, like Steve's kept me abreast and everything, but there is some hurdles to go there. So probably more of a question for Steve.
Like, could you just try? Is he flying into Detroit to do that?
Yeah. Steve will hopefully have some immediate availability for you. Good luck finding him.
Derek, how much interaction is there between you, like a coach and a GM on something like this, like when you start?
A little bit. Just
Yeah.
we were in the process like everyone else. Patty probably talked to 8 to 10 teams. We were one of them, no different. Pretty simple conversation. Talked about what we're trying to do here, vision, and just I enjoy talking with Pat because he was smart. Like he wanted to know about our structure, he wanted to know about our systems. So I think basic communication was just like the other 8 to 10 teams. We had a Zoom like anyone else when we were over in Europe, and Steve's kind of handled it from there.
With Bergren coming up, what has been the report from him in the last maybe month or so in Grand Rapids, and what can he provide in this group?
I think some up and down play there. I think obviously he's able to produce at that level. I think again our challenge with Bergie is his complete game. Obviously he'll be replacing Dylan Larkin in our lineup in our top 12. So obviously we'd like him to add some offense because he can. But at the same time, just the two-way game, the responsible hockey. Again, we've put ourselves in a good streak here, situation, because we've given up 3 goals in our last 3 games, and we ask him to do the same.
Post game against the Wild, DP talked about having a better response against New York. When you look back at that first game earlier this month against them, what happened and what needs to be better?
Probably very similar to our first game in Boston. A team like that, extremely elite. We just weren't competitive, and probably a little credit to the opponent in New York that night, but it was on us, just not probably ready for the type of pace, the depth of their lineup. Just our compete wasn't great, and we've had a couple of those, but I do give our guys some credit in responding from some off nights like that. And again, that's going to be a challenge for us, and again, without Dylan Larkin. So we're going to need a complete team effort here going into New York, and I think they're coming off a disappointing game for them, and when a team is playing like they are, the consistency they've had all night, that's a team that will respond from a poor performance. So I think we'll get our best, and we'll certainly have to have our best.
When David scores number 300, what do you make of the way he's just kind of continued to produce in this league, maybe
Yeah.
even better with age.
Just driven. He's a passionate, again, you guys see him out there in the games. I deal with him on a night in, night out, day in, day out. His approach in practice, just an absolute driven pro. And again, a really good piece for us. And we're trying to take some steps as a team and an organization, and he's been a big part of it.
How much more do you like coaching him than coaching against him? It seems like he's quite.
He's a butt heads type personality. It's not all rosy. We've had some tough conversations, but the pro he is that he responds extremely well. He's kind of a throwback in that today's athlete, they want instant feedback. I wouldn't say you have, it's different. David's an old school where you can look him in the eyes, you can be hard on him, you could be clear with your expectations, and he'll accept it and move on. So I've liked our relationship and what we're trying to do and build here. Again, just a good piece of us taking a step and being more competitive.
Are there things about his game on ice that you've learned just seeing him up close now for 2 years?
Hockey sense, deception, his ability to protect a puck is as good as it's going to get. Pucks around the yellow, his ability to take pucks off the yellow and keep plays alive and continue to create offense, and on the power play has been excellent. So really good player and still extremely productive. I think that says a lot about him.
Terry, how much of being a driven veteran is part of the appeal with Patrick Kane too? I mean, he has a lot of championships to his name too.
Yeah, of course. I think any of those type of guys, if they've been there, done that, is a positive.
Do you know who you're starting next time?
Ville Huso will start in net tomorrow in New York.
What does it take to integrate somebody into a room when you guys have obviously something going right now? What does it take to bring someone new into a situation?
Yeah, I just think you just ask him to follow along with what we've been doing of late. And again, I think it's just going about your business correctly, not getting too low with 2 losses in Europe, not getting too high with 3 straight wins back. Just go about our business, and what we ask of all of our guys. Probably no different than conversation and coaching with Alex DeBrincat, where Alex will obviously get a little bit of freedom and space to play his type of game, but at the same time we need him to come around and manage his game like the rest of our group.
When you're going over systems with him on a Zoom call, are you sharing video? Do you send
No,
video?
just simple conversation. Obviously a brilliant hockey mind. You can tell he's watched us a lot. It was an easy conversation. Impressed with our neutral zone. What are you doing in your neutral zone? What are you doing in your D zone? And I just think the understanding of what kind of player he is and how we thought or feel he can fit in. So again, this will there's still some hurdles to go. There's even if it does happen, I think there's going to be some time here, a level of patience certainly from us as a coaching staff going forward.
How much do you get a sense of or appreciate the sense of excitement this is causing, for the locker room through?
Yeah, it's
fans?
tough. I don't know if I really felt it with the group. Again, we have a really tall task here in that we have a really tough back-to-back. We're playing the best team in the league without our captain, and they absolutely tattooed us in New York last time. So, that's something we'll probably get a better feel for once we get past these 2 games.
You mentioned coaching David before. I'm curious, as you're coming up and you go through college, USHL minors, you're used to guys in the developmental stage. What did you learn kind of coaching veteran guys? What's kind of the challenge as you learned that? Because those are the guys you don't get, and you don't get 35-year-olds when you're coaching in
It's partnership.
things like that.
It's a new NHL. It's an absolute partnership. Dylan Larkin's going to be around the Detroit Red Wings a heck of a lot longer than I am. I understand that. He needs me, I need him. That goes for any of our veteran. It's just different at this level. It's still a players' league. I know it frustrates maybe some older veteran type guys. I know it frustrates Steve at times. But it's the reality of it. Guys want to be held accountable. but it's a little bit on they seem to want to do it on their terms, but it's a partnership. It's just the reality of today's NHL, and I don't have a problem with it.
Do you feel like a recruiter during this process sometimes, trying to?
No, not necessarily. I don't think it was as deep as you thought. I mean, we had a really good conversation. Again, we were one of probably 10 to 12 teams that had a similar conversation. Steve and I went with an approach of being very direct and honest and what we're trying to do here. So that's where we're at with it.
As far as approaching this difficult back-to-back, how much momentum or confidence, I guess, can be taken from these last 3 games, not just winning, but seeming to...
Yeah, of course. We played, again, we have 11 wins on the season. We've pointed in 14 of 20 games. This is why we've put ourselves in a really good position at the quarter mark. But you also know when you're playing the right way, judging ourselves on performance over outcome. And all 3 of these games, boy, it would be really hard to pick apart any of our game, our 5-on-5 game, the underlying numbers. Our guys are just skating. We're getting above. We're taking a lot of pride in those hard things, playing defensively, second effort type things, and just you want to keep that momentum. So it's a hard league. It's hard to win any night. You can be humbled in a hurry. And again, it's just when you're playing well like this, you kind of want to ride it, keep preaching what's been made us successful of late, and kind of go from there.